Hey everyone, this is Nico20, the developer of Electrum Drum, Sonic Chop, and ReLoop. And we're going to see an example on how do you use Sonic Chop. Sonic Chop's purpose in life is to chop samples out of music on your device, whether it's MP3 or iTunes music, any one of those. So let's start it up. Here we have 3 tabs already converted, music on device, and a browse tab. I don't have anything converted to be able to chop yet. The first step before you can chop samples is to convert the music into a wave. And Sonic Chop can do this for you. You click on Music on Device, and here we see a list of MP3s that I have. This will show all the music on your device. So we select a track that we want, and we push Convert. Just give it a little bit of time, and this will convert it to a wave, which then we can chop samples out of. Alright, there we go. Let's go to the already converted tab, and now you can see there's my wave. We can touch it and it'll play, and then we can push Chop. Sonic Chop will build up an internal representation of the waveform peaks so we can see what it looks like and have a reference while we're chopping, so we can zoom in, get a look at how this sound file looks. You can touch anywhere and play it. You set your left and right markers by pushing the left and right buttons. It's the fastest way to do it. For example, you push the left button, and now when you touch and move, it'll place the left marker. Once the left marker's on the screen, you can also move it by touching up here and moving it. Something to be aware of is these fine adjust buttons here. They will move anything you moved last. So here, if I scroll the waveform and then I push fine, it'll move one step at a time. You can also hold the button down, and it's automatic. If I touch the left tab there, then it'll move the left marker as well. Fine works on whatever you adjusted last. Okay, the first step in chopping successfully is to figure out the beats per minute of your music. So let's push the BPM button, and here we get a dialog where we can tap the BPM as the song is playing and it will calculate it. A fast way to do it is auto detect. It will work maybe 75% of the time. So let's try that. 140 BPM, and actually I know this is pretty close to correct because this is dubstep style music, which is traditionally around 140 BPM. So as soon as we do that, you can see we have these yellow lines, and it's called beat guides. There's a line that'll be drawn for every quarter note, every beat. If you zoom out, you'll actually get measure guides. Measure guides are in 4/4 time, but as soon as we zoom in far enough, we'll get beat guides. So now what you can do to make everything line up real quick is you can take your waveform and try to line up the waveform with the beat guides and see if it fits. And here we can see this peak matches, this peak does, this peak does. So it's probably the correct BPM. And what we can do is, now that we have it lined up, we can push lock guides to actually lock these beat guides in place, so when we move the waveform, they move with it. So that makes it easy to scroll through. Alright, now we'll push left and line it up with one of those guides, and push right and line it up. And like I said, if you need to have finer tune, you can just push the fine button. Now, if you push outside this loop region, it'll play the song normally. If you touch inside the selected region, it'll play the chop. Okay, so if you want the chop to loop, turn on loop, and it will just automatically keep looping. Now here's the thing, if you need to make adjustments, you don't need to stop and do anything, you just touch again. So let's say I move this, just touch again to start over. Okay, so we can move that. Touch again. Now one handy tool is, as well as the beat snap. This will move one beat guide at a time, so I can just move both markers at once. Okay? And then I can touch inside to start the loop again. Now the fine buttons also work with beat snap, so if you go like this and it doesn't quite line up, you can also move fine and it will move both markers. And that's a fast way that you can get your chops. So this is 4/4 time music, so if I select 4 beats, I think I'm on 5 right now. So if we select 4, technically we should get a pretty decent loop. So you can hear it loops pretty well. I'm zoomed in right now as far as I can get. Another feature is auto chop. Once you've set the left loop marker where you want, you can push auto chop, and you can chop a measure at a time. Actually, you can chop 1, 2, 3, 4 up to 8 measures at once, at a time, and then how many times do you want to do that. So this allows you to make a like you could say, I want 1 measure per chop and I want 16 chops. So it would just automatically, starting at the left loop marker, it would chop 16 measures and automatically save them out. It would save them into the chop directory that you've set. Once you've selected a chop that you like, you just push the save button here and then select on your SD card where you want to save it, and it will save it out as a wave. And that's pretty much how you use Sonic Chop. Another thing is you can adjust the BPM on the main screen with this plus and minus. And the advantage of that is if you look at the beat guides and they don't quite line up, you can push up and down and you can actually watch the beat guides move and spread out or get closer together. This would allow you to make a little bit of adjustment if they're not matching the peaks quite right. And that's it. Alright, hope you give it a try.